The NBA trade deadline has passed. What an exciting time it was. Lots of big trades, and we're here to unpack it all. Today I'm just going to quickly talk about my winners. Each trade, of course, is going to have a winner, it's going to have a loser, even if the loser is only a little bit. Might be a pick that just hasn't eventuated yet, or something along those lines. We had a pretty slow trade period apart from that early trade for Trae Young to the Wizards. And then everything just kind of unravelled in the last kind of 3-4 days. Obviously, everybody was holding their breath and seeing what was going to happen with Giannis. So I just wanted to unpack my winners. These are how I see it. And my first winner, plain and simple, it's the Washington Wizards. Some good deals were done here. They traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis. The team hasn't had a winning season since 2018, and their last playoff was in 2021. They lost to the eventual champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, 4-1. And they pretty much gave up second round picks and players that were hit and miss. Nothing valuable. They keep their core together. Bilal, Alex Sarr, Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George. And then they add a guy like Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Now, by all accounts, these two guys will sit out this year, so it won't affect their tank that they're going. They're going to keep losing games, and yeah, that's good news. They'll get a good pick potentially top 5 pick, so they can go get a Boozer or a Debansa or a Darren Peterson, someone like that. They're my first winner because the business that they've done here is just they've still got their draft capital. So if anything goes wrong next year, they've still got their pick where they can get back in the tank if they need to. And these guys, right now, they're not on big contracts, so they expire after next season, so they're going to have a point to prove. So they're going to play really, really well next season, and I really look forward to watching the Wizards. My next team that I have as winners at the trade deadline is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, they had the big trade for James Harden, which I'm very excited about. James Harden in Cleveland. He's going to be playing playoff basketball with guys like Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. And I think this is a big win on its own for the Cavs, let alone picking up Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. And then dumping Lonzo's bad salary and DeAndre Hunter, who just played very bad this year. And they get off that Garland contract, and Garland has just been, apart from last year, injuries have just hampered this poor man's career. And I like this move because it gets him a certified playmaker, takes some pressure off of Donovan to control the ball, but and we always knew that they had trouble playing together. A couple of seasons ago, Darius Garland asked for a trade, and then next minute he says, "Oh no, I'm cool here." So this is going to be a good fit. I love it for Cleveland. They break up the four that's been together since 2022, and they've been quite underwhelming in playoff appearances. So a fresh start, and I think Harden can really turn that ship. And I think this is a signal from the Cavs front office that they want to keep Donovan Mitchell happy, and this is a move to do that. This is a big win for the Cavs, and I can't wait to see how that plays out and come the playoffs. My next win right now is the Utah Jazz, and another team that has pulled in a big guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., pair him with Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen plus Keontae, and you just think that's just a defensive, like those big three, Markkanen, Kessler, Jaren Jackson, that defensive front court is going to be, I can't wait to watch that next year. Kessler, Walker Kessler, we're not sure when he's going to be back, but when he's back, that front court is going to be immense. Take some pressure off Keontae, which is what I think they wanted to do. Defensively, he's a bit unreliable, so this helps him develop on the offensive side while not being a burden on the defensive side as such. And they did this without giving up any of their draft capital, really, apart from potentially next year's first round pick. And I think what the Wizards and the Utah Jazz have shown us is that this might be the new style of build or rebuild. Go and get other teams' picks and then trade them in a blockbuster trade for a guy like Jaren Jackson or Anthony Davis. Still keep your draft capital so you can switch if you have a bad start to the next season and it doesn't kill you. You're not getting a good pick for somebody else. And I think that's the model that we might see going forward, where teams are acquiring first round picks from other teams. They build that war chest, and then when it's go time, they flick them off for a couple of star players and keep their capital in the bank for a rainy day. So yeah, Utah, big win for me, and I can't wait to watch them next year. They're going to be a team on my radar. Even in that tough West, I think this will be a very fun team to watch. And my last team is, and the jury's going to be out on this one to see where that pick lands, but it's the Indiana Pacers. And this is more for next season. They get a big Ivica Zubac. They pair him with Tyrese Halliburton and Siakam. And the pick and roll is going to be fun to watch next year with Halliburton. I just really like this move for them. Defensively, he's going to hold up that paint. We know how Siakam is on the defensive end. We know how Halliburton can hold his own. So I really like this move. And they have that protection on the pick 1 through 4 and 10 through 30. So if it lands 5 to 9, it's going to the Clippers. If not, it conveys to a 2031 first round pick. So they aren't worried about that. If it conveys, then they're going to go for it now. So great move for the Pacers, and if the Pacers can get a top 4 pick, then they're in the running for a Boozer, Debanta, Peterson, maybe a Caleb Wilson or something of that level. So really like this move. They can get Zubac to acclimatise to the team and how they play for the rest of the year, and then Halliburton comes back next year, and we look at the Pacers as back to the finals potentially with this move. But yeah, exciting times in the NBA, and we push forward now to All-Star Weekend.